Hello, and welcome to the first edition of the OBR Presents. My name is Jared Mueller. I'm a writer and analyst for the Orange and Brown Report. We are a part of the Scout Network. This morning I come to you to talk about Johnny Manziel. Yesterday when OTAs started, people were really excited about football, some version of it, returning. What was interesting is that on Twitter and even in our forums, quickly people were intrigued by the fact that Johnny Manziel was taking backup snaps, even though Mike Pettin, our head coach, told us he was going to do that. It creates an interesting dynamic between fans and the players and even the Browns organization with Manziel. There are lots of reasons for media and fans to be intrigued by Manziel. First and foremost, for the media, we know the reality is that anything involving Johnny Manziel results in clicks. People are interested in Manziel, whether it's because of his college highlights, his personality, or even his failures last year. Johnny Manziel draws interest. But it goes to go a little deeper than that. Is it only because of who Johnny Football is that everyone was so enamored with him yesterday in the opening of OTAs, which are interesting and great, that football is back, it's on its way for us, but where there's not going to be any real major decisions made? Is it just Johnny Football? Is it just Johnny Rehab? Is that what has drawn all of the interest to Johnny Manziel? Or is it possible that now not only is the interest Johnny Manziel, but now he has that interest that backup quarterbacks always seem to get? And why is that? So here today on our first edition of the OBR Presents, I want to kind of go into that just a little bit for you. Before I do that though, besides being a writer and analyst for the Orange and Brown Report, it's also important to note that I am a professional counselor. That is my full-time job. For 13 years, I have counseled in a variety of settings, and so the mental aspect of everything intrigues me. I'm licensed with the state of Ohio as a licensed clinical social worker. It is what I do, and it is what I enjoy doing almost as much as I enjoy my sports. So it is from kind of that background that I bring you some information on Johnny Manziel and backup quarterbacks. And why yesterday news was all about Manziel. Look, here's a picture from 500 feet away of Manziel taking his first snaps. Look, Manziel's taking snaps with the second team. Where does that come from? Where does that intrigue about a backup quarterback come from? Outside of Johnny Football, Johnny Rehab, and Johnny Manziel, where does that come from? And specifically for the Cleveland Browns. First and foremost, there's going to be three kind of different points that I'm going to hit on. But the first one is mystery. Anything that is mysterious tends to grab our attention. It intrigues us. It draws us in. We want to know more. Let's Make a Deal made a TV show out of it. Do you want to take this $500 or get what's behind door number 2, even though door number 2 could be a zoink? It's something that really intrigues our mental state because we're wondering, there's so many possible opportunities behind that mystery. Some great, some bad, but our brain tends to want to focus on the positives, and so we get excited about what could be in mystery. And so backup quarterbacks and Johnny Manziel, after last year really struggling, going to rehab, and now possibly being a changed man, he is full of mystery. That intrigue draws us in. The second is novelty, something that's new. And so last year, Johnny Manziel was new for the Browns. He was new for Browns fans. He was something that they hadn't seen before. And so that newness drew us in, made us intrigued by what could be for Johnny Manziel and for the Cleveland Browns. Now this year, he is new again. Because now he went through rehab. Maybe he's not using substances. Maybe he is focused. Maybe he can be that guy. There's a newness. There's a novelty to Johnny Manziel. Not only that, but he is new in that he is a runaround, big-armed quarterback who can make plays with his feet, a la Ben Roethlisberger, Russell Wilson, and those guys, Steve Young even. So he's new to us in that he could be the next iteration of excitement in the NFL. We're not used to that in Cleveland. So there's a novelty aspect to the backup quarterback, but specifically Johnny Manziel. And then third and finally, it's hope. Josh McCown does not give the Browns any hope for the future. Nothing against Josh McCown. His age and his production in the past tell us he is not hope for the future. Right now, Johnny Manziel, outside of Ray Farmer and Mike Patton and the defense at some level in the offensive line, but the reality is Johnny Manziel is the hope for the future. And so Browns fans are really excited about some hope. We often feel like we don't have any hope when it comes to the Browns. And in the NFL, where quarterback is king, Johnny Manziel, with his youth, with his production in college, and with all the excitement that he can create, as well as the lack of any other quarterback on the roster that we even think there's a possibility could be our quarterback of the future, Johnny Manziel provides hope. So he is not only just like any backup quarterback where it's a little bit of a mystery, it's a little bit of a novelty, and there's some hope, but he's a first-round pick. He was a Heisman Trophy winner. Johnny Manziel provides hope for the Browns' future. Now, some Browns fans have given up on that hope very, very quickly, and that's okay. Their hope now lies in Cardell Jones, Hockenberg, Connor Cook, some of those guys in college, and there's almost a hope that we are bad enough that we can get a high pick to get one of those guys. But for the rest of the Browns fans, they're looking for a little bit of hope. A hard pass, a long pass, reading the defense well, those kind of things. They're looking for hope. And so Johnny Manziel, the Browns' backup quarterback, most likely for all of this season, provides those three things: mystery, novelty, and hope for the Browns, for their fans. Johnny Manziel is the epitome of all three of those things. Psychologically, those three things grab our attention. Those are three things that can pull us in because we are intrigued by it. It's interesting. What's behind the curtain? What's that mysterious thing? Who's that mysterious person? That is something that our brain grabs hold of as it's trying to take something abstract and make it concrete. The novelty aspect is something that marketers have honed in on for years. You ever heard of a product that's both new and improved? It's impossible for it to be both. If it's improved, it's already been around for a while. If it's new, it can't be improved because it was just created. But marketers tend to want to get us excited about that mysterious new thing that is a little bit similar to that concrete idea that you have in your brain already about a phone, about a piece of technology, about a laptop, whatever it is. But want us to take that concrete thing and add a layer of the abstract mystery and novelty that go with it, and even a little bit of hope. That hope that maybe this will answer all the questions, all the things that I need for my piece of technology, for my medicine, from whatever it is. Johnny Manziel is that for us. You're drawn to, I'm drawn to, millions of others are drawn to Johnny Manziel because of his mystery, because of the novelty of who he was last year, and even the new Johnny Manziel that we're hoping comes out this year. And that brings us hope. Right now, for this year, the hope is that the Browns have put together a solid roster that can compete in the AFC North with its great defense, solid running game, amazing offensive line, and enough weapons outside to allow Josh McCown to be a game manager that can help us win. But Johnny Manziel, his progress, his production in preseason, OTAs, throughout training camp, all of that provides a hope for the future. We're intrigued. Who knows what Johnny Manziel will become? We can guess. Those that love Johnny Manziel think he'll be a changed person and he will start to take over that starting job, maybe even in training camp. Those that don't like Johnny Manziel have already written him off. Can't do much for you, but he can change things. On the field, with his work ethic, what we see, he can do a lot to change things. So that mystery is there. And then it also is still new. We saw him for 7 quarters last year. 7 of the worst quarters of football that we've seen in Cleveland Browns history, and that is saying a lot. But there's still some newness there. He can develop. Peyton Manning didn't look great his first year either. And our hope, the hope for Cleveland Browns football, outside of Ray Farmer and Mike Pettine, who I personally hope can be around for 4 or 5 years at least, is that Johnny Manziel can become a good to great quarterback. If he can do that, our hope will be in a solid team with a good to great quarterback. It's why Twitter yesterday was set a Twitter with Johnny Manziel talk, even though Mike Pettine has made it very clear that he'll be our backup quarterback. The coming together of a backup quarterback and all that comes with fans' excitement for the backup, and Johnny Manziel and all that comes with the excitement of Johnny football has come together to intrigue us. It has come together to connect in our mental status as an excitement, a hope for something that could be. We get drawn into that. We're most likely to get drawn into that all year long. My name is Jared Mueller. I'm a writer and analyst for the Orange and Brown Report. This has been the OBR Presents. Thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to communicating with you more. Check us out at cle.scout.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Jared K. Mueller. It's JaredKMueller. You can also follow us at the OBR. And we look forward to all of our communications with you in our forums, comment sections, on Twitter, on Facebook. And we enjoy being a part of the Browns family with you. Remember, Cleveland Browns fans, we all bark together. This is Jared Mueller, and I'm signing off.